Also, various countries are selling the US Treasury bills. Else, they are demanding a higher bond yield. If the US is not able to provide that higher bond yield, they are selling the bonds. So, China and Japan has been the largest holders of debt, or well, in that case, the treasury bills of US, and China has been dumping these bonds of US since years now. They used to have $1.3 trillion of treasury bills of US, which now has reduced to just $650 billion. So almost half of the debt held by China has been dumped. They have sold the US bonds and encashed the money. Now talking about Japan. Japan is the largest holder of US debt, around 1.1 trillion. So they have also been selling the US bonds because these all countries have money in their reserve. This US dollar will be kept as reserve. So if the Japanese yen goes down in value, they sell US bonds and they take the dollar and they sell that dollar, so that selling of dollar will lead to appreciation of Japanese yen with respect to the US dollar, so that their currency depreciation is balanced. So that is what a country does as far as the US reserve is concerned, the forex reserve. So USD is used as a tool to retain the value of that particular country. In case of India, we sell US dollar. Recently, RBI has been selling this US dollar reserve so that rupee doesn't depreciate beyond a point and touch as high as 100 rupee per US dollar. So they sold US dollar so that we appreciated a bit. Similarly, Japan also has been doing this. So they have been continuously selling the treasury bills of US. The debt to GDP ratio of Japan has increased as high as 260%. So this is the result. If some country borrows money and prints money, they keeps on doing this, then they will go to a large debt burden with very less GDP, with very less productivity. So the debt to GDP ratio increases a lot. So that has happened to Japan. So Japan has been borrowing and printing money since last 30 years. Recently only they have increased their interest rate from their earlier negative and zero interest rate to around 0.75 to 1%. This they were able to do by continuous selling of the US dollar and treasury bonds. So if all countries are selling and all the bond investors worldwide are selling US bonds, who will buy these bonds? Because US needs money to fund the economy, right? So first the pension holders of US, then various mutual funds and other organizations of US, and various institutions and banks of US, and finally the Federal Reserve. Federal Reserve is one of the major buyer of debt these days of US. So the central bank of US itself is buying the debt so that the government can run the economy. That's how worse it is.